On Global TV News Express, Labour kicks as Federal Executive Council steps down memo, demands consultation over minimum wage. Amidst cholera outbreak, federal government provides 107 local governments with logistics. Ogun denies new cases. On the foreign scene, United States identifies Nigeria as location to promote chemical security. And in sports, in search of a coach for Super Eagles, Nigeria Football Federation debunks report of contacting Hervé Renard. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Global Television News Express, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Queen Agaba. The organized labor has kicked against the Federal Executive Council's decision to step down the memorandum on the report of the tripartite committee on new national minimum wage. Head of public relations of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Benson Upa, who criticized failure of the council to consider the memo during Tuesday's meeting, said stepping down the tripartite committee report creates what he termed room for injurious speculations. Minister of Information and National Orientation Mohammed Idris had told journalists after the council's meeting that the memorandum on the new minimum wage was stepped down to allow for wider consultations between President Bola Tinubu, state governors, local government authorities, and the private sector. The federal government has provided states with human capital and logistics support across the 107 local government areas and 31 states where cholera cases have been reported. Director of Public Health at the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, Chukwuma Anyaike, said the federal government is also creating awareness about the disease. The current outbreak of cholera has spread to 107 local government areas in the country with 1,528 suspected cases and 53 deaths recorded from 31 states. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, says the Senate has not approved the purchase of new presidential jets for the use of President Bola Tinubu and Vice President Kashim Shettima. He described as malicious a report quoting him to have said the National Assembly would approve the purchase of new aircraft for the president and vice president, even in the face of the harsh economic situation in the country. The alleged report comes in the wake of the recommendation by the House of Representatives Committee on National Security and Intelligence to buy new aircraft for the president and his vice, as the existing presidential jets are faulty and unsafe for use. Rivers State government has said it has found the suspect who detonated an explosive device near the state-owned presidential hotel during a pro-police protest in Port Harcourt on Tuesday. This came less than 24 hours after the State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Adaize Ore, alerted management of both public and private medical facilities in the state on the identity of the suspect, injury, signs, and the need to detain him if found. Members of the Academic Staff Union of Universities have staged protests nationwide and warned of impending strike if the government refused to act on agreements signed by the union. The union called off its last strike, which lasted 8 months, on October 14, 2022, after the National Industrial Court ruled against it and following the interventions by the religious bodies and the former Speaker of the House of Representatives and now Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila. Oyo State government has opened the portal for the recruitment of 7,000 teachers for the state's public primary schools. Chairman of Oyo State Universal Basic Education Board, Dr. Nureni Adeniro, noted that the job portal was scheduled to come alive at 6 p.m. yesterday. Adeniro said the recruitment is part of the state government's bid to reduce unemployment among its citizenry. The portal, according to Adeniro, would register each candidate with their email, phone number, and national identification number, among other requirements, with a view to providing them with jobs suitable for them, either as teachers or caregivers. The House of Representatives Committee on Science Research Institutions has established an ad hoc committee to investigate the recent appointment of the Director Generals of the National Space Research Development Agency and Raw Material Research and Development Council. Chairman of Olaide Akinremi, that the investigation is seen as a move to ensure that the appointment process was merit-based and in the best interest of the agencies and country. House of Representatives Committee on Public Assets has urged all governments to take proper ownership of all public-owned properties located in various areas of the country. Speaking at the resume investigative hearing featuring several agencies under the Ministry of Information and Aviation, the chairman of the committee, Ademori Kuye, lamented the deplorable state of some valuable properties in the country. The lawmakers said proper documentation and physical possession of the assets will go a long way in safeguarding such properties and save huge money for the government. The Federal High Court in Lagos has ordered the final forfeiture of the sum of $1.4 million linked to the immediate past governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele. Justice Ayokunle Faji ordered the final forfeiture of the funds to the federal government following an application by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. The anti-graft agency had earlier on May 29, 2014, secured an interim order temporarily forfeiting the money. Former Governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, has sued the State House Assembly over claims that his administration embezzled 432 billion naira and left the state with significant debt obligations. The former governor filed the fundamental rights enforcement case against Kaduna State House of Assembly at the Federal High Court in Kaduna. El-Rufai, who appeared in person to file the lawsuit, alleged that the committee denied him a fair hearing. Lagos State Fire and Rescue Services has said plans are underway to install a centralized generator at Lagos Island Market to curb incessant market fire. Similarly, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has emphasized the importance of collective responsibility in preventing fire disasters. Speaking at the Lagos International Fire Safety Conference organized by the State Fire Service, the governor noted that fire incidents in the state were often caused by careless behavior, urging traders at the market to take responsibility for their actions. The Abia State government has said it will pay in tranches salary arrears owed workers in the state-owned higher institutions of learning. Commissioner for Finance, Mike Akbara, who stated this during a press conference in Umuahia, the state capital, expressed determination of the present administration to completely change the narrative of owing workers' salaries because a worker deserves his wages. You're watching the News Express, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTimes, channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When News Express returns, in search of a coach for Super Eagles, Nigeria Football Federation debunks reports of contacting Hervé Renard. This and other stories coming right after this break. Do stay with us.
Welcome to Bayes University, Abuja, Nigeria, with a legacy of excellence and a vision for nurturing future leaders. Bayes University is in a league of its own. We're all about our people, processes, and technology.
Bayes is one of the highly rated universities in Nigeria in terms of product quality standards.
We don't just produce graduates, but groom people into employers of labor.
And it has made us understand that learning is all about three things. We learn, we unlearn, and we relearn.
Bayes University Hospital offers a range of specialized services equipped with the latest technology, manned by a team of trusted professionals. And now, our vision extends beyond our walls with the Baba Ahmed University in Kano following our lead. Join us at Bayes University and invest in your future today.
Bayes University is the institution that you will get the best value for money education in Nigeria.
Bayes University. Learn to live.
Staying with us. If you've just joined us, this is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of the News Express. On the foreign scene, United States President Joe Biden has announced that he was correcting a historic wrong by pardoning military personnel convicted under law banning homosexuality in the armed forces for decades. He said with the gesture, he was ensuring the culture of armed forces reflects the values that make us an exceptional nation. The decision specifically concerns Article 125 of the Code of Military Justice, dating from 1951 and made obsolete by Congress in 2013. It made sodomy between consenting adults a crime punishable by court-martial. An official from the Main Doctors Association says death toll from protests in Kenya has climbed to 13. After anti-tax hike rallies turned violent and police opened fire at demonstrators who ransacked parliament. The unprecedented scenes that left parts of parliament ablaze and gutted the injured scores of people on Tuesday have shocked Kenyans and prompted President William Ruto's government to deploy the military. The mainly youth-led rallies began mostly peacefully last week with thousands of demonstrators marching in the capital Nairobi and across the country against the tax increases. The United States of America says it has identified Nigeria as one of the most viable countries to promote chemical security for a safer world. Daniel Rocknaik, Senior Director, American Chemical Council, said this in Abuja at a workshop tagged Promoting Chemical Security for a Safer World. In business, the management of the Nigerian Education Loan Fund announced a 14-day postponement of the application process for student loans for state institutions. According to a statement by the agency in Abuja, the development was due to low data supply. NEFUND said the decision was necessitated by the failure of several state-owned institutions to upload the required student data and fee information to its student verification system. He said to date, only a limited number of state-owned institutions have successfully completed the data submission process. These include 20 state universities out of 48, 12 state colleges out of 54, and 2 state polytechnics out of 49. The federal government has declared that there is no importation of dirty fuel into Nigeria, countering the recent position of an official of the Dangote Petroleum Refinery. It declared this after meeting with oil marketers and local refiners of crude oil in Abuja, where parties at the meeting discussed issues about refined products pricing, issues of competition, and the importation of products that are produced in Nigeria. Speaking through the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority while reacting to claims of dirty fuel importations in Nigeria, the government stated that refined petroleum products with high sulfur contents were last imported in February, stressing that this had since been addressed by the regulator. The Federal Executive Council has approved over $1.4 billion to procure arms, ammunition and equipment for the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi told journalists after the council met at the State House in Abuja that the new purchase is meant to boost agencies' anti-narcotics operations nationwide. The governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Cardoso, has said inflationary pressure has started dropping as a result of the central bank's policy measures, which aim to reduce the current inflation rate of 33.69%. This was as he revealed that the country recorded a total foreign exchange inflow of about $24 billion in the first quarter of 2024, which is about 50% above the inflows recorded in previous quarters up to 2021. The governor also declared that the days of excessive naira volatility, were over, highlighting the positive impact of the monetary policy tools employed by the Apex Bank to tackle the challenges facing the forex market. The World Bank has provided $45.5 billion to Nigeria's National Identity Management Commission as part of the Digital Identification for Development ID4D project. According to the World Bank's implementation report, The funds were disbursed in several tranches between December 2021 and April 2024, with disbursement still ongoing. The multilateral institution noted that it will enable people in Nigeria, especially marginalized groups, access welfare-enhancing services, stating that the project will also enhance the identity systems, legal and technical safeguards to protect personal data and privacy. The initiative aims to increase the number of Nigerians enrolled in the National Identification Number System. In sports, Governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, says the Confederation of African Football, CAF, club competition slot will be the major focus for the Shooting Star Sports Club in the 2024 and 2025 Nigeria Premier Football League season. The club's media stated that the governor expressed happiness over the performance of the Oluyole Warriors in the just concluded MPFL 23 and 24 season, where they finished fourth in the standings behind Enugu Rangers, Remo Stars and Enyimba to marginally miss out on the continental ticket. The Nigeria Football Federation, NFF, has debunked reports claiming that it has established contact with Hervé Renard for the vacant Super Eagles coaching job. Reports emerged on Monday that the Federation had opened talks with the Frenchman to take charge of Nigeria's national team, the Super Eagles. To end Global TV News Express, let's take a look at some of our top stories. Organized labor has kicked over Federal Executive Council's decision to step down memo as Council has demanded consultation over minimum wage. Amidst cholera outbreak, federal government has provided 107 local governments with logistics. On the foreign scene, the United States has identified Nigeria as location to promote chemical security. And in sports, in search of coach for Super Eagles, Nigeria Football Federation has debunked reports of contacting Hervé Renard. That's it on the News Express, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. I'm Queen Agaba. Thank you for watching and see you again.